In the headlines, political realignment in Kano as Kwankwaso meets Shekarau. Police arrest suspected bandits in Kaduna forest. Away from Nigeria, Hassan Sheikh Mohammed elected as Somalia's new president. And in sports, NFF appoints new coach for Super Eagles. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. We begin with politics. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso on Sunday visited Senator Ibrahim Shekarau to finalize arrangements leading to Shekarau's defection to the new but fast-growing New Nigerian People's Party. Shekarau had been expected to officially announce his defection from the ruling All Progressives Congress on Saturday, but the plan was shelved for the undisclosed reason. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje had visited Shekarau Friday night to prevail on him to shelve the defection, with the latter shunning an Abuja meeting after reportedly gathering that it was not the presidency that called the peace parley. Sources in Shekarau's camp told Daily Trust that the defection is almost a done deal, as all the associates of the former governor in all the 44 local government areas have agreed to move to the NNPP. No fewer than 145 governorship aspirants and 1,548 National Assembly aspirants under the platform of the All Progressives Congress on Sunday besieged the venue for the party's screening exercise to be cleared to contest party's primaries. Trust TV's Shafi'u Suleiman, who monitored the screening, reports that the aspirants are upbeat for a positive outcome as they face the screening panel.
As it is with Nigeria's political culture, governors rounding up their second terms of stewardship usually move to the Senate, perceived as retirement enclave for them. They move in to the venue of the screening exercise to perform yet another political party ritual.
Very small, very simple, because it's a procedure that we are used to, and I've done it.
It went very well, very oddly well organized.
For some incumbent senators like Smarta Deyemi, representing Kogi West Senatorial District, there is no limit for a return ticket.
You cannot say you have qualified to run until when they say you have also qualified to run. So, notwithstanding that you are a sitting senator, you wait for the verdict. So when we get the report from the screening committee, then we now look at the strategies of how to cross the bridge.
The committee members they did a very good job, I must confess. I must commend them because of the surging crowd, confusion. They were able to handle it well. So I'm very happy with the process.
The venue for the screening exercise is a beehive of activities as the governorship and National Assembly aspirants remain upbeat of meeting the requirements set out by the party, which holds the ace for their chances of moving to the next step of the electoral process. Shafi'u Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Operatives of the Inspector General of Police Intelligence Response Team have arrested 2 suspected bandits in the Kaduna forest. The team, led by DCP Olatunji Disu, arrested them following a distress call to the Operation Puff Adder. The suspects were arrested after kidnapping a man in Bandoko community, Kaduna. According to Force Public Relations Officer CSP Muyiwa Adejobi, the suspects confessed that their initial plan was to abduct and gang rape the victim's wife. Dozens of residents of Niger State on Sunday morning fled to Minna, the state capital, as terrorists reportedly took over communities between Mutundaya and Gunu Serkim Power Road in Munya local government area. Mutundaya and Gunu communities are about 20 kilometers northeast of Minna, the Niger State capital. A resident in the area, Shehu Abubakar, said the attackers started operations at about 5:20 a.m. at Chibani, Kuchi, and Injita and Gwada axis when communities were still observing their early morning prayers, and operated till about 11 a.m. unchallenged. Travelers flying Gunu, Mutundaya, Gwada, Serkim Power, and adjoining villages were trapped as the road was reportedly unsafe on Sunday morning. Niger State Police Command is yet to confirm the attack. The Northern Governors Forum has condemned the killing of Deborah Samuel, a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, who was killed on allegations of blasphemy. Chairman of the forum, Simon Lalong, and Governor of Plateau State in a statement expressed the governor's concern about the development, which was clearly an extrajudicial measure of addressing perceived infractions. Governor Lalong frowned at the adoption of self-help in addressing grievances, whether religious or otherwise, noting that such could only lead to further chaos that may threaten law and order. The NGF, while commiserating with the family of the victim, urged security agencies to thoroughly investigate the matter and ensure that the law takes its full course on anyone found wanton or culpable in the circumstances. Similarly, the Borno State Commissioner of Police has cautioned religious leaders and people of Borno to shelve any planned protest over the Sokoto blasphemy incident. This follows the meeting on peace building with religious leaders and other security stakeholders with the Commissioner on the directive of the state governor. Intelligence reports suggest that some residents were planning to shut down the city in reaction to the alleged Sokoto blasphemy incident that resulted to the death of a female student named Deborah Samuel. At the meeting, the Commissioner of Police, Abdul Umar, called on the religious leaders to help the state maintain peace by ensuring that their followers stay peaceful.
You all know that here in Borno, Yobe and Adamawa states, there is Boko Haram crisis, which we are trying to calm the situation and enjoy the peace we are experiencing now. But with what happened in Sokoto recently is the reason we called for this gathering to enlighten our people, and it's expected of us to extend the message here to our followers on the importance of peace. The governor called me this hour that we should have this meeting, even if it's to wake everyone, to discuss so we can avoid what happened in Sokoto to occur in Borno. We'll take action accordingly. The chief imam will summon all the malams and preachers and talk to them. He will deliver the message of the Commissioner of Police to them. I will also appeal to the Khan chairman to talk to the pastors and Christians to avoid religious comments. It will really help to stop spreading the story of. We, the Christian community in Borno State, have agreed to maintain peace. I have written letters to all the pastors in Borno telling them to inform their members that we don't want any reaction from them, and they should go about their normal routine activities without any fear of attack. We are law-abiding and we have a total submission to the teaching of God as enshrined in the Holy Bible.
Queues are emerging in filling stations in Gombe metropolis as fuel scarcity looms in the city. Ibrahim Ismail speaks to some motorists on the difficulties involved before buying the commodity. The report.
This filling station is located along Gombe-Bauchi Road in Gombe metropolis. It is one of the few filling stations selling petrol in the entire city. Motorists here say they spend between 1 and 3 hours on the queue.
And this is truly very unusual, and someone like me, I spent like 2 to 3 hours on queue, and I have to stress, like it was very stressful coming in right here. So I think this is just uncalled for a country like this, Nigeria, that's known for production of crude oil, but yet we the citizens are still suffering like this. It's just unfortunate, and we really need to talk to our leaders, the president. I don't know what's actually doing.
The president,
yes,
Commander-in-Chief,
Commander-in-Chief,
Minister of Petroleum.
Of course.
And this is happening. Do you have a message?
It's unfortunate, Mr. President, if you listen to me or if you hear me at any cost, this is uncalled for.
Na kai awa biyu anan ina jiran mai, amma layi na ya zo an ce mai ya kare.
I have been here for more than 2 hours waiting for fuel. When it was my turn, they said it has finished. I used to travel to Port Harcourt from Gombe, but we don't experience difficulties of buying fuel there, like here in the north. I don't know the reason. Is it the fault of the marketers or the government? Trust TV observed that more than 10 filling stations are not selling the product in Gombe metropolis. Motorcycle riders are incensed. They accuse petroleum marketers of hoarding the commodity.
To gaskiya wannan hali da muka shiga na harkar mai gaskiya abun ya ba mu tsoro. Dan sabanin ma yanzu aka mun zo nan gidan man.
We are scared about this fuel scarcity. I swear we have waited for long, but they told us that they will not sell to us. However, we have seen some VIPs buying the product, but we the Okada riders are suffering. We followed the queue, they said no fuel. I spent 2 to 3 hours here. Efforts to speak to the leadership of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Gombe State Chapter, were not successful. Nigeria has been battling with fuel scarcity since early this year, after millions liters of adulterated petrol were imported into the country. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
You're watching Trust News Update, coming up after the break. Culture of tribal marks going extinct. This and more after the break. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. We told you that there are indications of a political realignment in Kano as Kwankwaso meets Shekarau. You also heard that police have arrested suspected bandits in Kaduna Forest. Moving to more news, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has interrupted bids by drug cartels to export tramadol, ecstasy, MDMA, and cannabis to Milan, Italy, and Dubai, United Arab Emirates as well, through the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. It also seized 203,879 tablets of pharmaceutical opioids and illicit substances in raids across Abia, Kaduna, Yobe, and Kogi states. The report.
At the Lagos airport, a female passenger, Odia Emiliana Efe, was arrested on Monday 9th May while trying to board Royal Air Morocco flight from Lagos via Casablanca to Milan, Italy, with 1,000 tablets of tramadol, 200 milligrams concealed in food items. A freight agent, Karim Ibrahim, was also arrested at the Sako cargo shed of the airport for attempting to export food items containing hidden blocks of cannabis, weighing 6.65 kilograms, and 24 grams of ecstasy drugs, MDMA, to Dubai in the UAE. In Abia, 3 trucks loaded with drugs coming from Lagos and Onitsha, Anambra, were intercepted with 67,100 tablets of tramadol and 12,650 capsules of pentazocine, morphine, and dopamine. Similarly, NDLEA operatives in Kaduna arrested a suspected drug dealer, Shehu Kabir, also known as Anzaira, wanted by the Katsina command of the agency for jumping bail. Items recovered from him include 45,000 tablets of diazepam, weighing 41.5 kilograms, 50,000 tablets of Exo, weighing 15.6 kilograms, 1,500 tablets of Rofinol, weighing 700 grams, and 300 bottles of codeine, weighing 41.5 kilograms. In Yobe State, no fewer than 7,029 tablets of tramadol, D5 and Exo, as well as 1.5 kilograms of cannabis were recovered from a drug dealer, Ibrahim Yakubu, when his hideout was raided in Unguru town, while in Rivers State, one Chikeri Richard was arrested at Eleme area on Wednesday, 11th May, with 207.2 kilograms of cannabis. The chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, has commended officers and men of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Abia, Kaduna, Yobe, Rivers, and Kogi for the arrests and seizures, and assured that the NDLEA will spare no effort at ridding the nation of illicit drug trade.
The age-long cultural practice of inscribing tribal marks on children's cheeks in Yoruba land is gradually fading and might go extinct. While many people want the practice stopped, there are people who believe that the culture of tribal marks should be sustained because of its benefits. Hamid Oyebade filed this report.
In Yoruba land, tribal marks serve different purposes. The people use these marks as a way of identification and a means of beautification, while they believe in their powers of healing and spiritual protection. They are a part of the Yoruba culture and are usually inscribed on the cheeks during childhood. One of the common tribal marks in Ile-Ife in Osun State is known as Pele, which comes as 3 long vertical lines drawn on the cheeks. The other versions are Pele Ijebu and Pele Ijesha. Another popular tribal mark in Yoruba land is the Gombe marking system, a complex combination of curved and straight lines on both sides of the face. It is common to people from Ogbomoso in Oyo State. However, the culture is gradually going into extinction in Yoruba land because of modernity. Fumilayo Adeyemi says tribal marks deface people and so should be stopped.
Tribal mark is a fashion of the old by our forefathers, and I don't think this mark is in vogue anymore. And the reason why I believe that this tribal mark should not be in vogue again is because of the damages it has caused a lot of children. In the olden days, this is normal, it is acceptable. But in the 21st century, we don't accept it any longer.
You see what happened when they even born me? They have to carry me out from our family house to another place so that they will not give me that tribal mark. Tribal mark in the olden days is very important. It's just a unique to know people where you came from. But as we are in a modern world, it's no longer useful.
In contrast, Olaide Oyelude and Prince Kola Oyelere both believe the practice should be sustained and want rulers to protect Yoruba cultural practices, including tribal marks.
I'm a Yoruba man. Concerning the issue of tribal marks, I will advocate that we should continue, we should not allow the culture of applying tribal marks on our children to die. Why? Tribal marks can be used to identify the community or the family that a baby or someone is from.
Increasing urbanization and modernization have rendered some cultural practices obsolete, which is why the practice of tribal marks may be on its way to extinction. Even the debate about their importance to society is not as loud as it was in years past.
One of the easiest ways of identifying a person is by their name. The importance of this means of identification makes it imperative that once a child is born, they are given one. In this report, Trust TV's Kabir Lowell takes a look at the significance of names and how they impact our everyday lives. The report.
To many, names are just an identification tag that carries no more significance or effect than naming who the bearer is, while others believe there is more to name that meets the eye. However, in African context, naming is a very important tool used among various cultures to convey certain messages, either to an individual, family members, or a community.
Amarachi means the grace of God. As a child growing up, I was always sick, so it took grace that I survived. My mom didn't really believe that I would live up to this age, so I feel like it's a name that follows me. The grace of God that has always been around me. Well, we should be careful of names. It's just like the words we speak. It goes a long way in the children's life. So just like your words, the names has effect as well.
Some respondents believe that African children also receive a second name believed to be prayers, hope for the future, unnamed expectations, and parental aspirations. Names are also given based on geographic environment, religious beliefs, as well as past experiences. The chosen name may even offer insight into important cultural or socio-political events at that time.
Oh, my name is God's Glory Omojo.
So what is the meaning of your name?
God's Glory Omojo is like someone that represents the glory of God. God's glory. Then Omojo means child of God. Then Edibo is servant of God. Edibo is servant of a king. Do you understand? So there are these persons in our village that stands behind the king. So those persons, they call them Edibo. So they are servant of a king. But being born into a Christian family will now change into servant of God because we are standing behind God as his servants. So I feel every parent should just be conscious of giving their child good names that will represent what they really want in their child.
In modern African culture, naming ceremonies are celebrations that formally introduce a child to the world, its community, and announces the infant's name and meanings of the said names.
The name is of paramount importance in our society, which goes a long way to make the bearer good ambassador of the nation. He added that most time individuals change names that will have adverse effects on the bearer.
My name is Said Razak.
Said Razak.
Yeah.
So what is the meaning of your name?
The meaning of my name is, according to what I hear, is Anobi Said, it's prophet of Allah. I have Babatunde.
You have Babatunde?
Yeah.
Why do they call you Babatunde?
It's because my grandpa late. That's why they call me Babatunde.
One classic case of the impact of a name on a person's life is name Good Luck, which many Nigerians believe contributed to the meteoric rise of ex-President Jonathan from political oblivion to the zenith of politics in Nigeria. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
On the foreign scene, Somali legislators have elected former Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, who served as Somalia's president between 2012 and 2017, won the contest in the capital Mogadishu amid a security lockdown imposed by authorities to prevent deadly rebel attacks. Somalians hope the vote will draw a line under a political crisis that has lasted well over a year after Mohamed's term ended in February 2021 without an election. And finally, in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation on Sunday announced the appointment with immediate effect of Jose Santo Pesero as the new head coach of the senior men national team, the Super Eagles. Jose Vitor dos Santos Pesero, 62, is a Portuguese who played as a striker in his days and has wide and varied experience coaching top clubs and national teams across Europe, Asia, Africa, and South America. Pesero, 62, who is a Portuguese educationist with a degree in physical education and sports sciences, has top-level coaching qualifications and training and has coached at Sporting Lisbon, FC Porto, Panathinaikos, Rapid Bucharest, Sporting Braga, Victoria Gomares, Al Hilal, Al Wahda, and Al Ahli Cairo, among others. The NFF also announced that former Nigeria international forward Finidi George will now be first assistant to Pesero, with Salisu Yusuf as second assistant, as well as head coach of the CHAN and under-23 national teams. Usman Abdullah is third assistant, while Ebobo Riche will be the match analyst, with Ike Shoromu serving as the goalkeeper's trainer. With this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.